Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to school. If you are new here, welcome. I am Brittany, aka Beautifoles. For today's video, I wanted to do a quick little back to school, back to makeup back to school, back to work makeup tutorial. I kept everything super light and neutral, but I still want to obviously look like I have makeup on just because you never know what the day is going to bring you, and I always feel my best when I have a little something on my face as opposed to el natural. For this video, I wanted to do a voiceover as opposed to a talk through, just because I wanted to see if I wasn't showing products and explaining exactly what I was doing while I was doing it, how long it would take me. So I timed myself. So it took me 21 minutes and 32 seconds. Including in this timing was me putting on a pair of false lashes. If you don't put on lashes, this might take you a little bit shorter, but I put them on just for the sake of the video and for the sake of me just liking how I look better with lashes on as opposed to no lashes. But anyways, if you want to learn how I achieve this look, please keep watching. If you like what you saw, you know the deal. Give it a big thumbs up below, subscribe below, comment below. If you have any requests for future videos, I want to give you guys the content that you want to see, so leave that down in the description box below. And let's get right into the tutorial, and I will see you guys at the end. Bye. Okay, so just because I want to see how long this is actually going to take me, as if I was going to school in the morning, so that you guys can kind of judge, I am going to set a little stopwatch on my phone, and we will see what the total time is for this little back to school makeup. Ready, set, go. Alright, so it has been a minute since I have done a voiceover, but we are going to start off with my brows as usual. I am going to use the Benefit Browsings, and primarily I'm just going to be using the powder side of it. I feel like the powders are just so easy to use when you're in a rush to go somewhere. It just fills in so much of your brows, and very naturally too. And whenever I'm done with my brows, I like to just comb through them. It just disperses out the product a little bit more. And then again, in regards to a powder versus a pencil or a pomade or something like that, I just find that the powders are a little bit more forgiving, so when you're kind of pressed for time, it's so much easier to clean up a stray powder than it is to clean up some pencil marks. And then just a reminder, to get the most natural looking brow, I like to have my brows lighter on the inner portions of my brows and darker towards the ends. And then after I'm done cleaning up my brows, I am going to take the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm just going to start to carve them out. It just makes the brows look cleaner and more finished and done. Now remember, a little product goes a long way, so I like to start underneath my brows first and then just blend out the remainder of the concealer onto my lid. Also, in regards to concealer shade, I like to choose a shade that is almost 2 shades lighter than my natural skin tone, just because it's going to also act as a highlight. The last thing you want to do is have a concealer that's too dark, and now it just kind of looks messy when you go in to highlight your brow bone. And after I am done carving out underneath my brows, I'm going to go and do the exact same thing right above my brows. Again, a little product goes a very long way, and then I just disperse and blend the rest of the concealer into my forehead. And then again, once I am finished carving out my brows, I am going to take the spoolie end of my brush one more time and comb them through. And now that my brows are done, I am going to extend the same concealer onto the rest of my lid. This is just going to even out my skin tone color and serve as a base for my eyeshadow. And then I am going to take a damp beauty blender and blend out the concealer. I like to just bounce the sponge on my lid so that it's not really pulling at the delicate eyelid skin. And I really like to use a beauty blender as opposed to a brush, just because I feel like the beauty blender picks up more product as opposed to just moving around extra product on your lid. And now with a beauty blender as well, I am just going to set my eyelid with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, again by pressing it onto the lid. So now I am going to start with my eyeshadow. I am using the Makeup Geek in the Nude palette. I am going to start with the shade Buffed, which if you have the palette, it is the center shade. And I am just going to use circular and windshield wiper motions to disperse this product into my crease. Now, if you don't have the palette, any natural shade or toned transition color would work. I always tend to go a little bit more on the lighter side just so it naturally fades into my natural skin tone. Next, on a pencil brush, I am going to pick up on the shade Dark Roast, which is more of a chocolatey brown shade. It reminds me of MAC Ground Brown or something like that. And I am just going to lightly blend it behind my lashes just to give a nice little shadow effect, makes my lashes look a little bit more dense. And I am going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Just really make sure that you blend out the shade, this way you don't have these harsh lines behind your lashes. Next, I'm going to pick up on the shade Tan Lines. It's more of a camel toned shadow. It reminds me a lot of MAC Saddle. And I am just going to blend it into my crease and then disperse it onto my lid. And next I'm going to take the shade Creased and just press it onto my lid. This shade is definitely the coolest tone of the palette, so any cool brown tone will do. And then with the shadow color in the Spotlight, which is a champagne foiled color, I am going to start off by pressing this into the center of my lid and then just dispersing it all over. And next I'm going to shift gears to my face. So I am going to start off with my Makeup Forever Mattifying Step 1 Primer. When I tell you, this primer mattes out your face, so it is perfect for long days and long events. And then I am going to pick up on my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Liquid Foundation. This is in the shade Y385. I know it is a lot darker and more yellow than my skin tone, but if you peek down to my chest and my shoulders, I want to make sure that it's even. Naturally, I would probably be around a R330, but I just want to make sure that my face matches my chest and my shoulders as much as possible, so this is the shade that I went with. And again, I was just using the back of my beauty blender to blend this all out. When I go and tackle my neck, I find it easier and quicker to use a brush, so that is what I am doing right here. I am just dispersing the product and blending it out onto my neck. And then after I am finished making sure that everything is blended into my hairline and my jawline, I am going to pick up on the Tarte Shape Tape again, and I am going to highlight and conceal. I usually like to take a concealer that is 2 shades lighter than my skin tone. This happens to be a little bit lighter than 2 shades, but with the power of blending, all things are possible, so we will make this look okay. And I am just going to apply it in elongated triangles underneath my eyes, underneath my nose, on my chin, and in the center of my forehead. And I am also going to apply it down the bridge of my nose. And again, I am going to take my damp beauty blender and I am just going to blend it out. So I liked to use the back of my sponge for my foundation and the tip part of my sponge when I use it for the lighter concealer. This way, if I need to blend the lighter part into the darker part foundation shade, I can just flip over my beauty sponge and it is on the back and blends very nicely. Now if you noticed, I'm really just pouncing and rolling the beauty blender on my face. It makes for a smoother and cleaner transition between the face makeup, but also it's a lot gentler on your skin. Is gentler a word? No. It's definitely a more gentle on your skin and won't pull it as much. And then after I am done blending that all out, I am going to take the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and just dust it all over my face. I do this because the transition from powder to powder is a lot smoother and less patchy than powder to, say, a liquid or a cream. So when I put my bronzers on, it'll just transition nicer. And then I am going to take my number 7 caramel bronzer, and I am going to bronze up the perimeters of my face and underneath my cheekbones. Please, please do not be the person who puts bronzer all over their face. It's just not really necessary. I feel like it looks more natural and glowy if you just put it on the perimeters as opposed to all over. And then I am going to just contour my nose real quick. I like to use a fluffy kind of angled brush. This way I can define and blend at the same time. And again, with my damp beauty blender and the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, I am going to bake underneath my eyes and then underneath my contour. But I realized while I'm baking, I might as well put on a little bit of a highlight, so I decided to just wipe away right over on my cheekbones so that I can put on my Girl Meets Pearl highlight right up on my cheekbones. I love this product. I'm falling right back in love with it. I haven't used it in so long, and it smells so good, and it's just so pretty. And then I'm going to take a fluffy brush and just wipe away whatever setting powder my face didn't absorb. And then I am going to take one of my all-time favorite blushes that I am just starting to use again. It is the Benefit Coralista. It's gorgeous and it smells even better. And now with a MAC 239 brush, this is one of my favorite under eye shading brushes. I am going to go back in with the shade Creased and just create a nice little shadow underneath my eyes. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the shade Dark Roast. Next, I am going to highlight using my BH Cosmetics in the Spotlight palette, I believe it's called. And I am just going to pick up on the shade Dream and Glow and just highlight my cheekbones, my forehead, my nose, my chin. And now this is so extra, but I just like how I look better with eyelashes on. So I am going to apply my Lily lashes in the shade Miami. They're so long, but they're so beautiful at the same time. Now my natural lashes are just so short that it just looks so much better for me to put on false lashes, and sometimes mascara is even more of a hassle because my lashes are super curly and then I get mascara on my lid and then I ruin my eyeshadow, and it's just such a process. So for me, lashes is a lot easier. If lashes aren't your thing and mascara is more your jam, go for it. I just wish I could get away with loving my lashes with just mascara. And then after my lashes are in place, I am going to take the Benefit Highbrow and line my lower waterline. I just think that it's such a beautiful creamy color that why not just make my eyes look a little bit more open with it. And then I'm just going to take the same pencil brush from before and blend out my lash line again. Next, I'm going to take the Maybelline Nude Lust lipstick and just apply it to my lips. I don't necessarily need a lip liner for this look. And then over top, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Champagne Glam Lip Gloss. Then I'm just going to marry my false and real lashes together with the Maybelline Big Shot Mascara. And let's be honest, if you don't have your lips open while you're applying mascara, you're applying it wrong. I'm kidding. And then I'm going to put a coat of mascara on my bottom lashes to add a little bit more contrast between my eyes. And then last but not least, I'm just going to spray my face with the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix and 213259. Not so bad. Thanks for watching, guys. You made it to the end. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm actually really curious if you guys liked the voiceover as opposed to the talk through. Let me know in the comment section below. If you have any requests for future videos, you can go ahead and leave that down below as well. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, I'm completely judging you, and we can't be friends until you click that little button. So make sure you go do that, and I will see you guys next time. Why did I just clap like a crazy person? I will see you guys next time, and thank you so much for stopping by and spending some of your time with me. Bye.